Welcome back to Romantasy Chaos HQ, the pod. We are Avery and Xavier Harleston, healthcare professionals by day, romantasy theorists, and aspiring authors by night. Today we are covering the epigraph from Fourth Wing, Chapter 17. This is your warning. There will be spoilers for the entire Empyrean series. If you have not read all three books, it may be time to turn back. We are not rated E for everyone. Xavier has a degree in cussing and he's not afraid to use it. We do discuss any and all adult topics covered in these books. We like a challenge, so we tackle each epigraph without prepping, placing it into the context of the entire series, not just the chapter or book it's tied to. But you don't have to take it cold, so here is our one-sentence summary of the chapter. The morning after threshing reveals new alliances as Violet discovers the benefits of being bonded to Taryn, and the new role Xaden and his posse will play now that her life is tied to his. None of which helps the Silver One keep her seat on her dragon. There are 6 minutes on the clock, and Fourth Wing lore more sus than Imogen helping Violet. So don't blink, don't scroll, don't let Taryn distract you. We have 360 seconds to blow your minds.
And go.
It is therefore only natural that the more powerful the dragon, the more powerful the signet its rider manifests. One should be aware of a strong rider who bonds a smaller dragon, but even warier of the unbonded cadet, who will stop at nothing to seize a chance to bond. Major Offendra's Guide to the Rider's Quadrant, unauthorized edition. My gosh, Major Offendra, again. Oh my gosh, with this guy or gal.
Well, how does this work out with Coda and Melgrid?
Well, I think this is exactly it. There is no way that you are bonded. Okay, first of all, let's start with the assumption that the size of the dragon determines how powerful they are, which is kind of going to be interesting when we consider Andarna, but let's come back to that. But if you are bonded to the biggest, I mean, bigger than Terran, older, he's the elder, he's older than Taryn, presumably far more powerful than any other dragon on the continent. Taryn even admits this. And you're telling me that the signet you manifest when you're 20 years old does not grow, change, develop, expand? You don't get a second signet? Like, no. Whatever General Melgren manifested when he was a cadet at 20 years old and bonded Coda, it's not the same. Like what he has now, I mean, I think he's probably, 30, 40 years into this relationship with Coda. His signet is not the same as it was when he was 20.
Well, and I think this is his second intrinsic signet. I think this is not his primary signet because black dragons are, these big enforcer type powerful signets. And I think this is like Imogen, who has this whole earth wielding thing that we don't know anything about until the final battle in book 3. And I think Melgren's got some super, one of the strongest 6 most powerful signets.
Mm.
And it's all hidden by this I can see the future thing that just doesn't really seem to line up with like what Coda would give you, even though it's great for battle and it's great for planning. But Melgren essentially can't defend himself at all if all he sees is the outcomes of battles. He can't influence them. He can't change them per se. All he can see is the outcome. And the one battle that we know about him predicting, he predicted totally wrong.
Well, you mean in Iron Flame?
Yeah.
Oh, did he predict it wrong or did he just tell people things? Like, this is the whole thing. How do you believe anything that Melgren is saying one way or the other? Like, you have to question everything that he says because there's just no way that his signet hasn't grown and changed. But if you have an intrinsic type, okay, so same thing with Dane. Dane has an intrinsic type signet, right? He can read your recent, or presumably as his signet grows, farther back memories. Um, but who's to say what he actually sees other than him?
Well, and he has, you know, why does he have so much power? Interaction with Sloane, right? I mean, and his dragon's not like big and bad, but suddenly he has all of this power. Like there clearly is something missing in the whole way that dragon channeled power gets to riders, whether it's being blessed by the gods or that the size doesn't matter as much as it's made out to be. But if you are the biggest, baddest black dragon, and yes, you gave this very cool, awesome, see the future signet, but then your guy can't defend himself, like, what is the point?
Yeah, it doesn't it's not adding up there. And then the second, cuz I do think Major Ephendra is someone who came along after history has been wiped and is trying to promote the propaganda, trying to promote the message that not only trying to erase history that includes Venin, but also trying to promote this message that, like, everything is cutthroat, everything is about hierarchy, everything is about proving yourself, everything is about basically being terrible people in order to be good people, which just doesn't make sense. Um,
And that bigger is better,
yes,
not smarter is better, not craftier is better, but bigger is better.
like Major Offendra would certainly view, as we discussed in previous episodes, view Violet as a liability, ignoring that she has so many strengths that are not dependent on her physical strength, but her intelligence, her ability to create allies, her ability to talk people out of bad decisions, or perhaps talk them into bad or good decisions, like her ability to influence and to bring people together. These are all really powerful traits and characteristics that Offendra would just, dismiss out of hand. And so this idea that the size of the dragon determines power is, that's our time.
That's our time.
That's our time. So tell us in the comments, did we blow your minds? Remember, we love you. Stay out of the clouds, off the ice, and come back to us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Remember, lore lovers, fantasy fanatics, and good girls, like, rate, review, subscribe, and share.